How's it going, everybody? Chad of Firehand Cards. I am doing a video here with an update on the 2021-22 Panini 1 basketball, Panini 1 and 1, excuse me, basketball, with the hologram serial numbers and the contents of the boxes have those serial numbers. So we've been doing tracking of this ever since the Kaboom stuff came to light, where you could see which box had a Kaboom based on the numbers, the code. They call it the code numbers on the front of the hologram here on the front of the box. So once we saw that, myself and Ryan, who breaks for me, we decided that we are going to show the codes on any and all card boxes going forward for every one of our breaks. And we would try to track a couple of these products box by box, where it's easy. Something like this, there's only two boxes or two cards in each box going forward. Now, coincidentally, we're trying to figure out the process of why this is happening. I still, my initial belief, the more that we do this, is that this is not something that is done intentionally for the manufacturer to be able to track which cards are in each box, other than making sure that cases receive the proper hits, and they distribute 2 to 3 case hits per 10 boxes of Panini 1-in-1 case, and that, so on and so forth. And I think in the instance of the Kabooms, it's more along the lines of them being lazy, either the manufacturing of the boxes, or Panini being lazy in how they handed off those cards to the packaging facility to put them into the packs, where all the Kabooms ended up in the same exact run of numbers, hologram numbers, etc. So anyway, just want to give you guys a quick breakdown of what we've seen so far. And I have to say, we initially started this and we didn't track every single box. First, we were just, every time a big hit would come out, we'd write down the number for one of the big hits. We weren't tracking the lower rookies, the lower veteran autos like Adrian Dantley autos and Zaire Williams rookie autos, that kind of stuff. We didn't track that probably for at least the first 3 cases, maybe the first 4 cases. We did not track those, just the big hits. And starting with PYT5, we tracked literally every single card. So that's why you can really see some runs here going down. So I'm just going to show you quickly what we've got here. The light orange or yellowish color you can see here, or what I would consider your filler hits or your lesser hits. Blue hits, blue cards being really nice or big hits, and then the red ones, that's 2 cards from the same box. That usually happens when your best hit is your base card or your insert. You have like a CP3 sneaker spotlight, and then you also have a lesser autograph like the Adrian Dantley in there. So when we had the boxes in which we did track the sneaker and the auto, we had that on here. I mark those with the reddish color so you can see both. But what is very easy to see, stands out right away, right, is you can see these blocks of blue, where the big hits all run in these big blocks. The ones where there's a question mark, there's 2 question marks. These are the boxes on the table I have here. I bought 2 loose boxes on pre-order and a bunch of cases on pre-order, and these are the 2 boxes I've yet to open, obviously. And I'm trying to get this one. I'm pretty sure I'm going to get a timeless moments here on this 88373048. But anyway, you can see the blocks, right? The blue blocks, and then then you'll see a run of yellow, and then every once in a while you get an outlier. Like this is kind of like an outlier. There's a Scotty Barnes RPA right here in the middle of a bunch of lower end autographs of rookies, and then a couple of veterans like Colin Sexton, Jaren Jackson Jr., that kind of stuff. And then you'll kind of go right back into a run of big hits, and every once in a while you'll get a little something squeezes in there like a DeSunmo RPA. Now, this is one where maybe the base card that went with that one was a gold. Something like that could happen. I haven't really checked. We didn't have to start tracking golds. We got a Magic Johnson 1-of-1 base that we tracked, but in hindsight, since they're doing this, maybe we could have tracked gold base cards, and maybe those get seeded as special cards as well. But it's very evident that the way that these cards are distributed into the packaging process, they're put in groups, and they're running through, being put into the boxes. These numbers are sequential. You'll see we have some runs of absolute sequentials here: 56, 57, 56, 57, 58. We missed number 59, but I guarantee if we pull number 59, we'll know exactly what it's going to be. You have these lower end cards. They're hitting the same numbers in a row, which means they're being fed into those boxes in that order. And then you see the same thing with the big hits. So what it tells me is that Panini is giving these cards to go into the loops and the hoppers, all the big hits together, all the lesser hits together, so that they can be put into the cases as they're supposed to. 7 lesser autos, 3 really big autos, and then they'll sprinkle in the downtown or whatever else might go along with it. Here's the other question mark. I was hopeful when I first had this one. It was close to Scotty Barnes. Or it was close to the downtown Levine, and here we didn't have anything in between the downtown and the Barnes, and now I've seen a David Mitchell and a Zaire Williams. It's looking like this is going to be a dud the more that we track. But it's just like I said, the more that we've added, these yellow runs get bigger and bigger and bigger, because there's more lesser, there's more of the lower end hits per case than the big hits. But it's pretty apparent. I mean, I color coded it to make it stand out, so you don't have to read everything. You can always pause this and read it. And I've been posting these onto our Twitter as we add them on. This is 99 cards tracked so far. And again, here's the red one. I put this one in here because it was a Cade Cunningham base rookie to 99, along with the Luka Garza RPA. But you can see, this is interesting, right? This falls in a run of some blue. Here's a Kuminga, a Jokic timeless, then a sneaker spotlight of somebody that was reported to us by another breaker, but I'm not sure the player. And then you got a Luka Garza RPA, which is garbage, but there's a Cade Cunningham base number to 99. So it shows me that Panini puts value on the Cade Cunningham base enough to insert it into a run of the bigger hits, where you got a downtown, a sneaker, Kuminga, and a timeless. And then there's a Cade Cunningham base right in the middle of the mix there. Or maybe I'm completely wrong. Who knows? That's the beginning of the mix. These are incomplete. Obviously, we don't have all the sequential numbers in between all these. But, a big chunk right here, you can see Jalen Green. If you end up with something that's a 104.27, 5901, Jalen Green, Cade RPA, Jalen Green, Cade RPA, Mobley RPA. I mean, that's a nice chunk right there. You want to see that on your box, right? Anyway, down here's a LeBron sneaker, Jalen Green downtown. So you can see the 2 really nice inserts, accompanied with an Adrian Dantley and a Robert Parrish. Not really anything going there as far as veterans. We haven't seen too many of these boxes. These 104.28 zeros have produced those. The only other one we had like that was a downtown LaMelo Ball, 104.280. So you can see that's a nice run of inserts being hit with lesser autos amongst a big, you can see these runs of yellow here. So anyway, just a snippet. Just want to share that with you guys. Leave some comments below. Let me know what you think about it. I think it was important for me to, when we started doing this, realizing that when we started to see some of these runs, that we really track both big hits and small hits, because really you want to get a full view of how everything is put together. That's more or less because I'm still in the camp of thinking and believing, until we really get a look inside the manufacturer, and like we get another Panini video showing us how stuff is packed out or something along those lines. I'm still of the belief that the initial reason that these are put on is not to track where cards, which cards are exactly in which box, and where those cards are going. More so, any farther beyond making sure that the cases get what's supposed to be in them. Now, when you start mapping them like this after the fact, we can always go back, and take those numbers and start to map where they're supposed to, what's going to be in them. And I think that if we put this information out there, and we keep digging on this, and hopefully Panini's catching wind of it. I mean, I'm tagging them on Twitter every time I post something about this. Hopefully it'll force a change. I mean, I still don't understand why all of the NBA products have these holograms that have numbers all over them on the front, that are sequential, and they correlate to, the same card. All the same kind of cards are going in a row and getting sequential numbers stamped on them. But when you open up anything NFL from Panini, there's no numbers like that on them. Yet they're still able to make sure that cases of NFL football have the correct amount of hits, the correct amount of case hits make their way in. So there's something there. Maybe, I've heard somebody before say that they think that the NBA is making them put the hologram on there with the number on it. That could be the case. Maybe. I don't know the answer to that question, but I would imagine that there's got to be a way for them to do it. Make sure that you get what you're supposed to in your box and your case without putting a code on the outside that we could later track and figure out what's inside. And hopefully, by us putting this information out there, maybe it'll put a little bit more pressure on them to make that change going forward. That is my end goal in this. I'm not sure how many other breakers are really doing this. I haven't had the time to look into it, but I haven't heard much about it. So I would imagine a lot of guys are either I saw, I believe Hitman said that he's not going to, when Kabooms came out, he opened up some boxes that he had left, pulled a Kaboom, and said he wasn't going to put any more Crown Royale boxes in his breaks. It's your choice to do what you're going to do as a breaker. I just think that, the information and knowledge is power. We got to get the info out there and let everybody decide what they want to do after that. But hopefully we can force the hand of the guys and the manufacturers to finally get rid of this, because it seems like it's been going on forever. All right, that's it for the video. Appreciate you guys watching, and I'll catch up to you next time.